sheep and pigs looking up at you. And the trees are growing. Sheep are eating the grass. And didn't have cars like they only used on horse and cart and
the horse pulls it and they go along.
And they didn't have any tractors to make bales, so they had to make it into hay bushes.
The one that we did was the skipping one. I drew it and me, Ita and Aoife painted it. And there was the Harlan one.
Yeah, Graham did that.
Yeah, and ended on the sky in it.
Yeah, 3 boys did the sky, but there was another boy in there.
This boy he's playing hurling with his ball is lost in a ditch or somewhere, and he sees all the people playing beside him.
I made a phone call to Marilyn Gahan, our County Galway Arts Officer, and I know that the Arts Office fund an artist to come to schools to help the children, with our various forms of art. So I had hoped that they might sponsor somebody.
The children in the school would be doing the artwork, but they'd be getting their ideas from the drop-in centre across the road.
We invited the children to bring in any old items that they might have at home. We took them across to the daycare centre. There was great interaction, and the people loved to tell them about how they used them and what purpose they had.
We had our little one, other people might have more. And there's another one for a car.
We were delighted. It's our first time to be having the kids and the older generation together, so we thought it would be good.
I enjoyed talking with them and answering their questions.
I like hearing what happened long ago.
They're lovely. Oh, Lord, it's a lovely little children. God bless them. They're great.
They realise now that the older people want to hear what their life is like in school, just as much as they wanted to hear how the older people got on when they were in school.
And they found out more about Eyrecourt, but we probably didn't know.
We asked them about the town and what it was like. And
well, they'd ask you where you went to school and what age you started to school. And well, I told them already that you get any amount of the stitch. In my day going to school. No, there's none of that now. I suppose no harm to have it gone.
And if you missed a day for nothing, that means you'd get bet up. You will get bet up, get hit with a wooden spoon. And if you're late for school or something, then you get hit with a wooden spoon as well. Only if you're like a minute late.
We used to go to school that time, and it used to be lovely in weather. We used to go on the bare feet. We used to take off the shoes the minute May come in.
Some people had to go on their feet to school, and they'd have to bring in a sod every day to light the fire.
And at lunchtime they might get a bottle of milk and they'd leave it beside the fire to heat it up so they'd have heated milk.
They had to bring
turf to school. For the fire every day, and some of them had to come on the boat across the Shannon, and some had to cycle and walk.
The children were able to depict scenes from the past, what they had spoken about to the older people, and they were to depict those then on paper.
When we started off, we asked the children to bring photographs from home, and any photographs of Eyrecourt, of the town long ago.
They even looked at the architecture of the buildings, things that are there, but they're passing them by every day. But it gave them a great opportunity to open their eyes and observe.
First we picked out pictures, and then we got a big piece of board, and then we just drew them on and with big marker, and then we painted them.
It was their own version of everything that they did.
There was an old house and a kind of new house attached to each other, and there's this old gate kind of and a wall, and that's what I had to copy, and you had to look really closely and copy everything that's on it, and you had to get the right size and everything, and you had to work really hard and look at it first.
When you walk around the streets, you see all of these kind of echoes of the past, in a sense. That you can see parts of this architecture, and where a lot of it is kind of fallen into disrepair and all of this. And I was kind of worried about that because it's all very drab and it's very grey and it's very kind of negative in a way because it mightn't transfer well to paint. But of course, kids being kids, that they were able to get over that because they didn't have to do things the way they really appear. So old grey buildings turned purple or
It's the old theatre down there, and it was used for a lot of things. It used to be an old courthouse and a hall, and there'd be dances and everything.
Across the square here, that was the theatre. That was the first hall dance I used to do that. And I stayed till 6 o'clock in the morning, like you, and had to walk 3 miles out home. It was over.
There used to be fairs in Eyrecourt then as well, and a pig market, you see, every 2 weeks, and that brought a lot of the country people in.
There was a good few bakeries and hairdressers and all that, and we couldn't believe it because Eyrecourt's just gone so small now.
There was a castle in Eyrecourt at one stage, and a lot of the people were employed there. There were painters and gardeners, but then that was years ago, we'll say. I didn't see it.
Originally it goes back to the middle of the 17th century, about 1640. It was built by the Eyre family, John Eyre, and he had to get out of England around the time of the Civil War in England. And he came over here and he was granted large property, something like 1,600 acres of land, and he built this house.
The emphasis really was to try and, to recapture that kind of former glory, to present it in a better light. And it actually worked quite well, I think. The idea of a lot of the paintings is that they will be permanent fixtures around the town, so that people will be able to, look at them for a long time. The whole project has created awareness with kids, and they're far more aware of the past.
It has given them a great sense of wonder, really, about the past. You know, it was really a great learning experience, not just for the children, but for us as teachers as well.
It was good, it was interesting. Yeah, because like when you're sitting in class, it's different, it gets a bit boring, but when you're outside, like, and the old people tell you, it's a good time.
I would hope that we might maybe once every 2 months or once a month meet up, and maybe the kids to come over for a half an hour or an hour on a Wednesday or any of the days, and maybe during the summer we might be able to go over for a day over there, you know, because they really enjoyed it, yeah. They used to look forward to the Mondays.
It was great to be able to relate to them and to be able to talk to them, that kind of thing.
It was really nice for the kids, and to give the older people a chance of getting to know the kids as well, which is more important.
I got to know the people in the daycare centre and knew what they did long ago.
Surprising like how simple things can mean big things in the long run. They are bringing kids to meet people. It is only a simple thing, but yes, it can mean a lot.